So today it is March 4th and we are pretty much 1 month or 4 weeks out from 70.3 Oceanside, which is on April 1st. That means we have about, give or take, 2 to 3 weeks of real training still ahead before we then go into taper before the race. Today is one of the biggest break workouts for this build. We have a 40 to 50 mile moderate bike ride and then followed by an 8-mile run. So it's gonna be quite a long day. What you just saw was my breakfast. I just walked the dog as well. For breakfast, simple cereal, fruit, and that's it. That's basically my go-to breakfast every morning. Comes out to about 400 to 500 calories, depending on how much cereal I put in. Besides that, you also saw the green shake that I drink every single morning. If you want to believe in that stuff or not, but I have that every morning along with the cereal. So now for the bike, I am planning on fueling with 2 gels an hour, which comes out to about 40 grams of carbs, and then maybe some pretzels along the way, depending on how I feel. So we're probably ending up between 40 to 50 grams of carbs an hour. And then on the run, I will do also 2 gels. I'm assuming it's going to be about an hour 15, hour 20 run. So about 15 minutes and 45 minutes into the run, we'll have another gel each, which is again 20 carbs each, 40 grams total, and that's it. For the gels, I am doing the Huma gels. I found that these sit the best with my stomach. They taste pretty good, but they also just sit the best. They're fully natural, just made from chia seeds. And the other gels I had, if I consumed a lot of them, or even like the blocks, my stomach ended up being a little upset. So these I can eat a lot of. They don't have as many carbs in it as a regular gel, but good alternative. But that's that. Let's get packing. It's quite a lot of stuff that we have to pack together, and go get the bike. All right, that's it. Let's change and get going. All right, let's go. Alright, so the bike is done, 45 something-ish miles, 3 hours, just very chill. Consumed 4 gels and some pretzels throughout, but that's it with the bike. We'll do an exact update later. Now I'm gonna go drive to the park and then we'll do the 8-mile run. The run is over. Bike is done, run is done. We'll cover everything after. It's time to go home, make some food because I'm hungry. I just stopped at the gas station on the way home because I'm all out of liquids. So no more water, nothing. I'm really hungry, so I just got one of these core milk things. They're pretty great. $3 for 42 grams of protein. Pretty nice right there, but that just kind of will fill me up a little bit till I get home. And then also just a cold diet Pepsi, because after a long workout, those seem to go down a lot better than just water or electrolytes. Something with bubbles. So I just down that to get hydrated a little. My stomach is rumbling, so let's go home. It's a 50-50. All right, not too bad. Don't forget to give your dog some food as well. Let's see. Hazy, we're gonna abuse you for cloud. Is it good? Is it yummy? Is it yummy? Yeah. Always use your pets for clout. There we go. Lunch, and then we'll talk about how the workout went. It is now later in the afternoon. Well, it's almost 6 p.m. The day is pretty much over. Everything is done. Just had another meal. But let's talk about the break workout. Like I said, this morning it was a 40 to 50 mile bike ride on the schedule, followed by an 8-mile run. The idea here was to see if that volume is just how it feels. Really just to see how it feels and not to bury myself in the process so that I'm not sore for a whole week and the training might be impaired. Because we are just about 3 weeks worth of training out from Oceanside, maybe with the week of taper. The bike went all right. This morning the tire was flat, but then when we pumped air in it, it held the air. So I'm not sure why it was flat in the first place, but this was like in the back of my head the whole time. I'm like, oh, is my tire flat? Oh, is my tire flat? Oh, is my tire flat? So that mentally just strained me. But no, the tire held the air just fine and I made it back to the house with still a firm tire. So I'm not quite sure why it was flat, but I'm definitely going to change the tube just in case for Oceanside. The ride ended up to be around 46 miles round trip and took about 3 hours and change, I believe, which is definitely slow. It's very slow. It's far slower than race speed for 70.3 Oceanside, but I also was told to take it easy, so I didn't really push it too much through the winds, and on the flats I didn't go into aero much. I basically just set up the whole time, steadily pedaled, and then at the end we have 1,600 feet of elevation over a course of like 4 miles. That just sucks. That just straight up sucks. But that was the bike, and during the bike the nutrition was as follows. I had 1 water bottle with electrolytes and 1 water bottle with, well, water. But for food, I had a total of 4 gels in some pretzel bites as well. I didn't consume any nutrition really the first hour. I just snacked on pretzel bites and I didn't calculate or count them. I just ate them. When I was bored, I just reached down, have 1 or 2, and that's all I did for the first hour. And after that, I did a gel every 30 minutes, which was alright. My stomach actually handled it decently. There was no upset stomach. 4 gels in a ride is the most I've ever done. Before, I've always done a combination of gels and something else. But yeah, it actually felt fine, which I was very surprised about. After the bike ride, I changed into my running stuff and drove to the park, which is just a couple miles away from the house, but I didn't want to run in the hills and have to go the 1,600 feet of elevation back up at the end of the run, so I decided to drive to the park where it's flat. It's a 3-mile loop around the park, and so I did that. It was challenging, not gonna lie. For the first 3 miles, I had about a 9:20 minute mile average, which felt alright and definitely passed by quicker than I thought it would. I stopped at the car, had a gel, had some fluids, electrolytes again, and then headed out for lap 2. Lap 2 was a lot slower, averaging around a 10-minute mile. And then again, I stopped at the car after lap 2, grabbed some more water, no more gels because I only had a mile and something change left, and then headed out to finish up the run. Had some more fluids when I got back. Averaged out to, I think, about a 9:40, 9:50 minute mile average, which also is slower than what I would want Oceanside to be at. But we will see how Oceanside plays out. This overall felt relatively taxing, I have to say. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. I'm gonna foam roll tonight before I head to bed if I don't forget. But I am glad I did it. It wasn't fun in the moment. I did a solo for most of it, but I'm glad I did it. And I'm glad I know where I'm at, because I think I might have to lower my expectations for Oceanside quite a bit. I still am shooting for a PR in Oceanside, which would be a sub 550 70.3, but we'll see. We'll see how that's gonna go. But besides this relatively big brick workout, the training isn't changing too much for the last 3-4 weeks build up before Oceanside from what I've did before in January and February. What I am changing, or what the coach for that matter is changing in fact, is we are incorporating a little bit more of speed work. Don't ask me why, the coach knows why, and I'm just doing what I'm told, but we are putting a little bit of speed work in. So there's 1 speed or tempo run, and then there's 1 speed or tempo ride per week now as well. Other than that, training load stays pretty much the same. Swimming, the overall mileage it's not a lot, but stayed the same. But we're splitting the swims up into 3 swims total, where before it was 2. And that is simply due to logistics, that the pool where I'm swimming at doesn't have any staff currently, and my only option to go swimming is during my lunch break at work, which allows me for about 25 to 30 minutes of actual pool time. And there's only so much yards that you can get in at a time, so we're trying to make the best of it. But that being said, that is it for this week. We'll see what the next week has to bring, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know what you think about this kind of style of video, and I'll catch you in the next one.